Good evening and welcome to Fireside Cast's coverage of RGL 6's Season 18 playoffs. Tonight we have an IM match. The Six Fingers of Mao Zedong is the third seed team versus Six White People is the sixth seed team. I'm M17, joined tonight by Giblert, and we got siyo on production. Have you been following any much of the IM season so far, Giblert?
I haven't really. I've checked the standings occasionally, but I've been looking too closely. Do you have any kind of insider info on these teams?
Yeah, so I'll talk first. I mean, first of all, in this season so far, it's kind of been two teams that have been very dominant, and no other team has even beaten the two teams. That's Quake Academy and Highlander Gaming. Those two teams have not lost yet. But these teams, while Mao is the Six Fingers of Mao Zedong is the third seed team, they're only off by one win. And in their two matches they played against each other, the first match was week 3A. That was on, that was on Bagel, which won't be played tonight. I should talk about the maps. I'll do that in 1 second. And that was a 4-1 win for Mao. Whereas back in just a few weeks ago in week 7A, Snakewater was a win for Six White People, 5-3, as opposed to the 1-4 loss. So pretty even, I would say. I'm interested to see what these teams have tonight, and the maps tonight are Snakewater, Gullywash, and Metalworks as a decider if needed.
Yeah, and I heard earlier we had a situation where there's a player called DWW that got denied as a ringer. Can you? So is this guy really just that good, or what's up with him?
I mean, he's on the Quake Academy team, which, I mean, this season, it's a little bit understandable just because of the fact that that team is kind of dominant. They're 16-0 this season. And even though Highlander Gaming is the second best team, they're 14-2. And both of their losses have been to Quake Academy. So it's been a kind of dominant season for Quake Academy. They haven't had too much of a hiccup. And yeah, I mean it's something to be expected. Like I think just that whole team is pretty well rounded. There might be like a couple like really strong players on there, but I think the whole team is really well rounded to the point where like every single person seems like they're playing really well, and most of them are AM move ups. I'm pretty sure all of them, yeah, except for Javert, everyone is an AM move up. But yeah, the only person with experience is Javert. But I guess we should. Some of the other players on both these teams, though, they do have some experience, so it's not like they're too bad. Guess we'll go down the rosters here quickly. I don't know if you want to start. I guess I'll start with Six Fingers of Mao Zedong. We have BBL on Pocket Scout, Flume on Flank Scout, and it's going to be Severs on Pocket Soldier, Juxi on Roamer, Doorknob on Demo, and Ward on Medic.
And on the side of Six White People, we got Squish on Combo Scout, Corn Sauce on Flank Scout, D Squared on Pocket Soldier, Saturn on Roamer, Knife and Spine 2009 as a Demolition Man, and Balada as the Medicinal.
Yeah, and something I'm actually curious about is Mao, they lost week 7A just a couple of weeks ago on Snakewater, yet they were the one who picked Snakewater. So I don't know if they've done like a lot of really focusing on focusing on improving their Snakewater, because it was only a 3-5 loss, so it definitely things could have changed, but I mean like you can definitely change some stuff, and it's not like that's a huge loss. That's still a pretty close match, but it's interesting that they picked it because that means they just felt that confident on it. Whereas Six White People, they just picked Gully Wash, which that was not a map that they played. I believe. Yeah, I'm taking a look at this, and Six White People just insta banned Bagel, which makes sense given their match against Mao in week 3.
Yeah, and can you give us the viewers a recap? Which maps are on the docket for today for this best of 3 series?
Oh yeah, we have Snakewater. CP Snakewater is our first map. CP Gully Wash is the second map, and then the third map, a decider if we need it, is CP Metalworks. Definitely those two maps. Those second two maps are soldier dominated, or the second and third map are very known for soldier play. So I'm interested to see how that changes things, especially because there's a bit of a weird date thing. So excuse me. So 6 white people has 2 ringers. Both of their scouts are ringers, and the soldier Severs is ringing for Mao. So I'm curious to see if that'll change up any of the team dynamics. I think they played with them a bit before, so I don't think it'll be too crazy. At least some of the players, but I am curious to see if it's like they're completely unfamiliar or anything like that. But I'm sure it'll probably be at least decent. I mean, they're decent enough players, so I don't think it's going to be like they're super uncoordinated. But there could be some growing pains potentially that we could see with ringer miscoordination.
Yeah, kind of another thing is, especially at these lower divisions and like IM, even in main somewhat and below, it definitely kind of feels like the soldiers have a lot more of kind of just like raw fragging influence just because of that. You know, people aren't as good at dodging, so it's just a lot easier for soldiers to kind of hit those shots if they. So I don't know. I mean, that's also like something to keep in mind how the game kind of differs. The soldiers can be kind of like more carry classes rather than in kind of like the advanced and like invite level where it becomes more of a kind of supportive space maker role.
Yeah, it's definitely interesting. I've been seeing some interesting warm up from these soldiers, so I'm curious to see if we'll see some nuts air shots. I think Jukesy likes to go for air shots, but maybe I'm a little wrong. But I'm curious to see if we get anything crazy like that. Uh, but yeah, it's definitely, especially on this map, there can be a lot of soldier impact and not too much scout. I wonder if we'll see any like sniper though. I don't. We might see it on Gully Wash and Metalworks, but I have a feeling we're gonna see it on Snakewater here. I don't even know if many of these players like are playing too much sniper, but I have a feeling that one of these teams will probably bust out a sniper because I mean, it's Snakewater. There's really long sight lines.
Yeah, I mean, especially last can be pretty tough to break at times. And kind of another thing you kind of see is that a lot of these situations, especially kind of I'd say like at the IM level, and honestly even yeah, at the advanced level sometimes, it does kind of seem like teams kind of don't know what to do versus a good sentry gun setup. So sometimes just going sniper can be a pretty common way to see people would say like I don't know, our sacks suck, so let's pull out the sniper and hope you hit something. Which yeah, I mean often works quite well on this map, especially on this last, as you said.
No, yeah, I agree. And honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if I don't know if Mao will bring out a spy, but I would not be surprised if we see the spy from 6 white people. In fact, I honestly, now that I think about it, I think they probably are going to bring out the spy at some point. I just don't know when it's going to be, what the situation will be, but I have a feeling they'll bring out the spy at least once, if not twice or even more. So, you know, as you use that spy more and more, it becomes less and less surprising, but it could definitely catch the teams off guard as we are going to go live here shortly. Map 1, Snakewater.
So who are you keeping an eye on this first mid? Who's your star player to watch at the moment?
Oh, that's a good question. That's a really good question. I feel like I feel like it's really gonna be maybe like Doorknob or Jukesy, I have a feeling, on the side of Mao, and then on the other side, I have a feeling it's probably gonna be Saturn or D squared, but we'll see how this first mid plays out.
Yeah, it looks pretty slow, but it's just kind of some spam back and forth. Not a whole lot of connecting. Everyone's still really healthy at the moment. As to say that Doorknob takes down Squishers, kind of moving the fight towards the advantage of Mao. Scepters also picks up one, and looks like 6 white guys is still kind of hanging around, maybe overstaying a little bit. Potentially going to get chased down here as they're on to second, D squared very low. It looks like they're doing holes, but they don't have an Uber to trade, and so you're still kind of got this 4-4 situation, all one's capping. A lot of pressure here coming as the sack comes onto Balata, and just the 2-shot from Severs takes him down.
Yeah, missed the serve with 96% Uber. Here comes the all-in from the side of 6 white people. Knife and Spine gets the force, and he's still alive and lower somehow. So he might be able to stop second here. He's actually bombing right back in. Is he going to get anything? He hits a sticky onto War, but they're going to live, and they're going to go back for that pack. And there's going to be not as big of an Uber out as you might think, because Balata actually survived, and there wasn't really much building, so it's going to be pretty much even here, although they could have potentially pushed in if they wanted to with those players, but I think since their players were still spawning, they're just going to decide, we're just going to chill, get our Uber, and then we're going to figure out how we're going to break this last.
Yeah, and kind of to rewind a little bit, I feel like, and I hope we don't continue to see this from side of the 6 white guys, but it did kind of feel like they overstayed on that mid for quite a while, then overstaying on the second there. They did, we did have that brief window where it was kind of the 4v4, but if you are going to choose to stay there, you need to get aggressive before those reinforcements come. So, still very early in the match, but something to keep an eye on.
Yeah, and right now both teams are about to get Uber. Mal just got their Uber. 6 white people has not gotten their Uber. They're about 90%, so it's pretty much even. And both teams are playing it as if it's even. So we're just gonna see some spam. It looks like they're looking for the gun. Actually, Jukesy went for a bomb, goes for the demo, but Knife and Spine gets arrowed. Very nice job by Lala there, and there's nothing there for Mal, and they're already gonna back up. And we'll see if there's a potential counter sack, although 6 white people has a heavy as well as an NG, not even like a sniper, just a heavy. So they are really in this deep for the long haul. Oh, but Knife and Spine gets caught in lobby by Severs. He was trying to go for something, but he isn't able to catch anything.
Just up by himself, really, really close, and just, yeah, kind of getting caught there. Maybe a bit of a miscommunication, and that's going to open up a lot of room, especially because there's no sniper. Should be able to kind of get the destroyers, but you just see an Uber come out, and it looks like a really bad trade, as it looks like on the side of 6 white people, we're going to milk this really hard. And a really good move by them to not use the Uber, holding on to it, actually using this thing, and they get 2 frags out of it as well. I haven't even used the Uber, only losing D squared at the moment. And yeah, this looks like a wise scatter from Zedong. I do think they maybe back up a little too far here. Could at least get some spam, slow them down, kind of letting them in for free here. When could have at least stalled for a little bit of time. But it does look like we're going to see Mr. BBL, as you mentioned, coming up on the sniper class here. As it looks like 6 white people also already trying to move through kitchen, maybe knowing there's a sniper in play.
Yeah, and here comes that aggressive Uber. They're trying to catch out more, but they are safely away. They're still chasing. I think they do decide to cancel, and there's a 1v1 fight going on here, but Squish with the buff and the scout class is going to win that fight on Severs. The sniper of BBL is pretty low. He's trying to get pistol down here. He is going to live, and Flume gets 2 kills onto a scout and a soldier there. Knife and Spine does get the kill into the enemy demo, though. It's just an absolute carnage fight, 3-on-3, but there is a sniper here, and Flume is very low. So if they go in really aggressively, this might be good for 6 white people, as Knife and Spine goes in, bombs, and gets the force, but I think a lot of might get caught. Yes, he does get caught to the Uber. Just a little bit too aggressive there and forgetting about those Ubers, and now it's just Squish trying to get out with the support of Saturn, but they're both going to leave. And that's going to be a decent Uber ad for Mao, but they do still have a sniper. Yeah, they do.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, a very interesting play demo going for the kind of just the weird kind of like the bomb force sack there. Not typically what you'd see, but does look like things have shifted much in advantage of Mao Zedong. The subbers kind of making space as Ward taking a rocket by them to sack, but gonna live there. Doorknob possibly getting left on an island though, but they managed to get one and trade kills back and forth, but it does look like Mao gonna have to back up. But as we say that, Balada getting taken down very low by a surprise sack by Jukesy. Just kind of a chain feed one by one there. Would like to see these teams kind of tighten up, playing a little bit more together, kind of on both sides here.
Yeah, it's very chaotic right now, but there's some good dodging and good movement there from Balada to keep himself alive and keep 6 white people in this game. There's an attempted repush here because I think Mao knows they have a little bit of an Uber ad. Yeah, they are considering it. Doorknob is, I think she was thinking about it, but it looks like they decided to back up. They're just going to go to their own second play, even as Knife and Spine is already through Saw. So is 4 players, and Knife and Spine gets a pipe kill onto BBL. Here's a bomb as well. Corn Sauce gets 1 pick. Doorknob gets a kill onto the demo, but that's another kill for Corn Sauce. 5v3 here for the side of 6 white people. There goes Doorknob getting a pick, and actually, oh no, Balada got forced. And here comes a late force though. Nice job from, Saturn getting that late force onto Ward. But it is 2v3, and so after the Uber ends, they're just going to have to leave the last.
Yeah, very small Uber advantage right now in favor of 6 white people. See if they might try to take it. They built it very well. They might actually think it's a little more, but we'll see what they do. It'll be very tight if they decide to play this. Wouldn't be surprised and wouldn't blame them at all if they decide to just play the sack game here.
Yeah, both teams are building those Ubers. We got the sentry gun up from BBL, and the other scout is on Uber, or is building quickly with his medic, making sure that they can get Uber ideally as quickly as they can. Already, 6 white people working their way into lower. There's no scout in this Uber? Wait, am I seeing this right? Oh my, here comes the Uber.
Quite an interesting Uber, leading on the demo almost by himself, but you have a couple people trailing towards the end of the Uber, got a lot of point time. You take down the gun, but the counter Uber's coming out. Already got some picks back and forth, but at the same time, outside of the Uber, so many players go down on the side of Mao Zedong. Now it's the recollapse. Can Doorknob hold it? No, Doorknob can't. the door is going to be wide open, and that's going to be our first round for 6 white people.
Yeah, they just got a little too caught. I'm surprised they got so caught on that Uber. Like, BBL got caught on NG, which is something you really want to be careful of doing because just NG is just such a slow class as compared to the, the Scout, just obviously a lot faster and you can get out a lot more easily. But, getting caught on NG can really hurt your team. But just a bunch of chain feeds and just going too aggressive once you got your Uber, I think, or once they used their Uber led to that last fight. As we're into this next mid here, neither team really going too aggressive, although as I say that D-Square does bomb in and gets the trade onto Doorknob, but BBL does get 2 picks, both soldiers, so this is definitely slightly favoring Mao. Here comes a big bomb from Severs, massive damage, very well done, and that's going to clean up that fight. Balada is safely going to get out with his Scout, Squish, but that's going to be a last fight here, I would assume, unless maybe they might try to recontest second with their spawners, but Juxi is already there on second, so we'll see.
Yeah, I really like that mid fight, how they played. Though, as I say that, never mind. D-Squared kind of just bombing in by himself, just making a lot of space, though, living for so long. And it does look like we're going to see the recontest by 6 white people here, able to scatter back on second and look like not really locked up very well by Mao Zedong, and now got a trade coming out, and no one else really in on the side of Mao Zedong, so actually it's going to be kind of a retreat back to mid. Kind of really split up there, and we see the continued aggression by 6 white people, punishing these 2 players down on side of Juxi. Now Doorknob goes down, and it's a hard chase here, as Knife and Spine 2009 almost going down to a spam rocket, as Subbers retreats. Subbers also getting very low here, getting chipped, but gonna live, getting an arrow back point. Knife and Spine bombing again with the aggressive plays. This guy is a maniac, don't know what they're gonna do. And Balada's going down during all that. It's chaos on the side of 6 white people. But then they're getting there at the same time, getting so many other frags for their team. And now it looks like it's a one-on-one between Squishers and Doorknob, and Squishers wins it.
Flume went heavy in forwards and got quite a bit of decent damage, and that just chaotic bomb just turned into... That was pretty insane, I'm not gonna lie, but... it's going to turn into just an even situation here. I think since the spawners of Mao are going to get here, and based on the timing, I think, yeah, the 6 white people spawners are already here. So there's not really going to be any pushes, although, as I say that, their teams are already looking to potentially poke and prod, see what they can get. Yeah, teams are trying to dry fight. Here comes 6 white people. Combo already out through lower. A big bomb from D-Squared. He gets the pack, stays alive, and Doorknob goes down because of it.
A lot of, really just punching this Doorknob death as they kind of just flood through all these doorways. I mean, 6 white people, not making the mistake you see from a lot of low IM teams, not playing too passive, maybe playing too aggressive in many times, but I at least appreciate the ambition as they move on to last year, taking advantage of these lack of soldiers. Good focus fire on the heavy and piling on the point, capping it up, going up 2-0, 6 white guys, white people actually.
Yeah, very well played. Even with Balada, even with Flume doing some decent stuff, I think just Balada and Squish have been very strong on that combo. It looks pretty deadly right now. And then they're using the aggression from the bombs, especially from Knife and Spine on demo, which is insane. I never thought I'd just see him just continuously bomb, but I guess it's working out for them here as we're going into this next mid. Maybe he'll change it up, but I have a feeling he's going to keep doing that, honestly, if it's working for him. Here comes the bomb from Saturn. He is going to get a kill onto Severs. Doorknob gets a kill onto D-Squared. The health is definitely favoring 6 white people, though. Doorknob is super low. She's going to have to back out in lower. Juxi is going to crater there. Another kill in favor of 6 white people. Flume is in on the medic and actually gets the kill onto Balada. Huge kill there. And BBL protects Ward, so that is going to be an Uber out on the side of Mao.
Yeah, just kind of a classic mistake of just not playing cautious enough late in the mid, just not watching out for hiders, especially given how chaotic this match has been so far. Really got to be ready for anyone to just feed out of nowhere at any time, pretty much.
Yeah, no.
As we say that,
yeah, it's definitely a little crazy.
And, as we say that, you're just kind of flooding through just on the side of 6 white people, not really locking out these doors well. And they get the cap, but they kind of just let Mao Zedong in for free. And Knife and Spine with his own sack. Once again, he gets the force, it looks like. But at the same time, we got kind of a chain feed once again with Saturn bombing in, going down. And now that's actually going to open up, even with the Uber used, that's going to open up an opportunity for Mao Zedong to walk in. And no Uber yet on side of 6 white people as Knife and Spawn. Having died so fast, actually is up, but not going to be able to lock up these doors, and that's going to be a mid retake in favor of Mao Zedong.
Yeah, they are going to take that. It's a little crazy how they keep sending all their explosives in for these Ubers. Here comes the aggressive Uber out of 6 white people. Doorknob and Severs, it looks like, are caught behind. Doorknob is going to go down, so is Severs. Yep, that's 2 down there. Mao is going to leave safely and secure about a 50% Uber ad, but being down a demo is going to be really scary, and 6 white people is stacking the point to try to deny those spawners, and they are going to deny them, which means no demo and no soldier here in this fight until those players get the spawns and come over to second. They won't get their own forward. So Knife and Spine is aggressively bombing in again. He's so low, but he actually lives, and the force comes out for Mao.
Able to kite quite well here, but as I say that, maybe never mind, as 3 people get nuked, kind of running through that doorway, just taking the rockets and taking that splash, and it's going to be now a huge retreat on the side of 6 white people as the chase continues really, really deep. Have to be very careful not to overextend and feed. BBL and Cyber still very healthy here, so almost looked really, really good on the side of 6 white people, but once again, a little bit of that over-aggression, kind of things crumbling right there. But as I say that, at least they do have the Uber advantage. We're able to hold on to the Uber as they make it through kitchen, and Doorknob gonna get caught out once again, and the rest of Mao Zedong gonna be hanging back, retreating once again. I'm just seeing a lot of disconnection between Doorknob and the rest of her team here.
Yeah, Juxie's in for that force, does force out Bellata, even though that second rocket was missed. It looked like the third rocket might have gotten the kill, but Bellata just forced anyways, so that's going to be a nice big Uber out for Mao, as they're actually going in with just BBL. They're going crazily aggressive. They get Bellata quickly, and Severs came in as well. Flume is in this Uber now as well. Bunch of kills on the side of Mao. This is really good for them. They were able to stop the second cap, and now they're going to probably work their way to mid, although they do have to be wary of that back cap. Saturn is looking for it. He's in Saw. He's trying to go for it. It's now 1v1 here on second to determine that back cap, but nope, Juxie and BBL come back, so it doesn't matter. And the refight attempt is canceled from 6 white people. I think they were just going to potentially try to delay for their spawner, but this is going to be only a 20% Uber ad on the side of Mao, because I think Ward wasn't building very well, but with those 2 players, it looks like they actually already are trying to push this through lower.
Yeah, again, if they're going to decide to hold this, I really don't want to see them playing back this far either. You know, be in or be out, but as I say, they're actually not, able to maybe get out here, kind of flood out here, but kind of surprising to see this is a situation where I think they could have just kind of walked through the doorways and fought them, given it was wide open, but this time they are playing kind of too passive, in my opinion. As I say that, D-Square bombing in, actually does get the kill onto Ward with the second rocket, just the single soldier bomb, getting way more than they deserve, but able to get it nonetheless. At the same time, though, everybody else died, so this could just be the first round for Mao Zedong's team. As a couple spawners coming up on the side of 6 white people. Doorknob again, once again, so early. Hitting the rocket or the pipe on a Knife and Spine 2009, taking them down.
She just had no fear, double piped the demo and then air piped the scout and then just got out, even though she didn't get the scout kill. That was some insane gaming right there, my goodness. But Squish has spawned onto Sniper on defense. No off-classes on the side of Mao, so both teams are just going to be building here. Actually, no NG, though, on the side of 6 white people. Very interesting, I guess, because Corn Sauce is still building, and Squish is taking that aggressive peek. But I did take a peek at the logs, and it looks like Squish is definitely the standout right now.
Yeah, Squish on the Sniper class, see if they can find anything here. Takes a shot, nothing yet. But as I say, it looks like Mao just decides to go for an Uber trade. And it's going to be much, much better on the side of 6 white people. As Sever's also going to go down during that, getting caught out at the tail end, not able to jump away in time. But it doesn't look like a whole lot's going to happen out of this. I mean, one pick is pretty hard to push out on, and Corn Sauce has to be very careful here. Just kind of fighting alone on the bats, but I'll take no damage. And as I say that, Doorknob going to get picked from the flank. And Knife and Spine once again with a signature move, bombing in. Not getting anything, but everyone going down quite low. Saturn cleaning up on some of that damage. Maybe getting a 2K, not quite. Juxie taking so much from the rockets on the retreat, kind of waddling away. And then Cornsauce leading towards Knife and Spine 2009, back again with a signature move, making so much space.
Yeah, you gotta keep an eye on him, my goodness. But Saturn really did live a long time there, and he was even able to just pick off Doorknob after she got the pack, which was pretty crazy. Here comes that even fight, though. Mao it looks like they're deciding they're gonna stay. D squared is pretty low. There's a 2 versus 2 fight here in Saw, and it's actually going to go in favor of Mao. They do get forced earlier, though, but now everybody else on the side of 6 white people dies. It's just Balata and Cornsauce. They're going to try to leave. Juxi is behind, but does not guess correctly on the medic location, so Balata might have a chance to get out, but Juxi is bombing, cutting off that exit, and that's a full wipe from 6 white people, and Mao are going to retake the point. And Kniven's mind is already going for the respam, just absolutely zero fear. He's re-peeking from kitchen. Oh my goodness, no way. He's in on the team. He pipes Juxi, he's still in behind. What is happening?
So much space being made. I mean, regular demos, you know, they control the space. Knife and Spine 2009 is making it. As I say that, they die. But, you know, nonetheless, space made. Team follow-up, come on.
Well, as we say that, also, it looks like 6 white people have already just accepted that they're going to be on their own last because there's already Cornsauce up on the gun with...
watch out for Squishers here with the flank here.
Squish is behind, in on the medic. He's getting some decent damage and gets the force eventually onto Ward. Saturn gets a kill into Severs.
And Soldier kind of just giving the meta boost to the other side of the map. But actually, the meta just forgets that is there, but it doesn't matter at the same time. What matters is Mao Zedong stands on the point, and yeah, that's going to be... Yeah, it's kind of ironic that Mao is on the blue team, by the way. Shouldn't they switch? But anyway.
I don't think it's a huge deal, but anyways, yeah, I'm taking another peek in Saturn. It looked like he really popped off that round, so I'm curious to see what he's going to do on this mid, because he has been bombing a lot, so I'm going to take a peek at his POE this mid. I'm curious to see if he's going to do anything crazy. I think he's normally the one leading these bombs, so I am curious if he has something planned. He's actually just spamming for now, so nothing too huge here. This time the soldiers from Mao bomb. There's a humongous aggression, but Balata doing a nice job of dodging a lot of that damage, and finally does go down after a lot of focus fire from Mao. But 4 down on the side of Mao means they have to retreat, but Ward does live, so that's going to be an Uber ad on the side of Mao, but 6 white people will gladly take the mid, and they are already getting aggressive. Knife and Spine trying to set up an aggressive trap. Actually, no, he's just peeking a little too aggressively, maybe, is gonna get picked off by BBL. And Cornsauce is actually in lower 2, hiding from the tires. And the D-Squared is in there too.
You never know what Knife and Spine 2009 is going to do. But yeah, as you said, Cornsauce and D-Squared going to get cleaned up there, not able to get a whole lot out of that. And that's going to make it really hard for 6 white people to really set up. They only have 3 white people up right now, so really not much you can do to set up here. So I would like to see them leave very quickly before they get caught overstaying. Spawners are coming in, so they have an opportunity to set up on second, maybe try to slow them down a little bit, get the force, or maybe, you know, able to slow them down, maybe take a trade and defend. So it does look like they're going to hold their ground here, as does look like the Ubers are going to even out. I don't think Mao Zedong, I think they wisely know this is an Uber advantage anymore, and it looks like they're just going to send a sack. Subbers going for the cheese play, able to get 1, kills traded back and forth. Very even scenario now, but with a flank coming in, Juxi with a sack. Nice pressure from both angles, really like that. Well XD by Mao, but how do they decide to play this next? It does look like they're kind of staying in, even with the number disadvantage. If they're going to stay, they need to make sure they get something good out of this Uber. Need to get some frags, or could be in trouble here. 6 white people will have the better spawners and do have potential to refight here. And yeah, they will. Knife and Spine, he's in again. Doesn't hit anything, but all the space made. Kills back and forth, the cap happens. 6 white people not able to block it, and now back on their last, with only 3 white people once again on the right, as the fingers of Mao Zedong have a grip on the last point, almost capping it up, and that's going to be an even game, 2-2. Mao Zedong going down 0-2, but now evening it up.
Yeah, and they've been getting a lot of cat time, and definitely a lot of cleaning stuff up, even with Saturn doing well. It's a good adaptations from them, just cleaning up their play and maybe not doing as much chain feeding. And we'll see if they're maybe just able to punish Knife and Spine a bit too much. Juicy with that nice force on second. But we're into this 5th mid fight here. And most of the time we see, I think it's 6 white people lead, but Mao was able to successfully get the med, and they are just quickly going again. They are going to get the demo, but they lose 3, 4 for their troubles, and Ward is actually by themselves. Uh-oh, 9 HP, and Ward is probably going to get killed too. They're going to take the no-fall damage, and they're just going to smartly kill by, and that's a full wipe on the side of Mao. 6 white people were very ready for that, and they're already in, taking space on second, and yeah, Corn Sauce is already in, trying to pre-spam down a gun from on Scout, trying to make sure there's no gun set up ahead of time. Flume does have that gun safely on this other side, though. BBL is up on Sniper, takes a shot, does not get anything, and we'll see that Uber ad push here shortly from 6 white people.
I really want to see 6 white people not rush this. They do have a huge Uber advantage. They have time to get everybody buffed up. They know where the gun is, so just like to make sure everybody's, pretty healthy for this push. But as we say, that 6 white people does lose Saturn, so it's going to be a lot harder now with that player pick going down. But Ward kind of just caught out at the moment. Med, not usually the frag you go for, but if it's free, why not take it? But gotta watch out for this recollapse coming from every angle. They don't kill the heavy, but it's a little bit of a C9 as 3 players on side of Mao Zedong able to touch the point, but not touching it. And Knife and Spine actually shockingly going to live through that with 1 HP. And now that's going to be 6 white people up 3-2 with 6 minutes left in regulation time.
Yeah, gotta remember, soldiers, you gotta stop that last cap. You can't let them cap under your nose. That's having, from both teams now, honestly. We'll see how Mao elected to do this mid. I doubt they're going to do another double high bomb, as actually the first bomb in comes in from the soldiers of 6 white people. They get 2 early kills. All of the kills are going in favor of them. Oh my goodness. That's 3 down. They're already going to be pushing forward. Mao is going to already have to back their way up into their own lobby, and they're going to be leaving to last shortly, as Knife and Spine is going to assure their leaving by cutting off the exit, or attempting to. Juicy does get out, but they are continuing up this pressure. D-Squared is already in on Doorknob, trying to get the kill, but Doorknob does get the nice pipe to clean up D-Squared.
Yeah, I mean, looks like D-Squared kind of stole Knife and Spine's sack opportunity there, so rest of the team gonna kind of back off, but, still got evens. This is, I like the aggression pressuring on the side of 6 white people. Yeah, like I said, these guys have no breaks at all. And sometimes it doesn't work out for them, but sometimes it does actually make them look even more coordinated than they might, because they're just all on the same page going forward. Even, at times, especially in IM, a bad play executed well and done together is better than doing the textbook right thing.
Yeah, definitely, especially when it means you can just coordinate with your team, because focus fire is so important in this game. It's a team game after all. As both teams are even Ubers. We're going to see an eventual sack. Knife and Spine just walks in looking for stuff, gets caught by Doorknob. Maybe a little bit over-aggressive there. And Saturn goes in pretty aggressively on the bridge there. Does get a decent amount of damage, but is low. He's going to have to back up. There might be a potential sack opportunity. Juicy is in, tries to get a force. Actually does get the force onto Balada. Dies at 13 HP, and Juicy died before Balada got forced. But Balada was at 13 and was worried about taking a little bit of extra chipper splash, and is going to go ahead and just force, and now it's going to be Uber ad for Mao, although Corn Sauce is hiding in drop down. Juicy did clear this last time, so looks like Severs is clearing that this time, and there's already a 2v1 happening there, so Corn Sauce is going to get cleaned up. Flume barely winning that fight, though. And BBL is already going to aggressively use in, trying to chase that medic, but again, no explosive class, which means this is already probably a less effective Uber. They get Knife and Spine, but actually these 2 soldiers on the side of 6 white people are kind of caught in. I think they're going to get these 2 picks. D-Squared trying to work his way out at the last second. Severs is going to catch that player. That's a 3-player ad for the side of Mao, and they're going to push off of that, definitely, even though they're down 40% Uber.
I would like to see them, as long as they're careful, just have to keep in mind, they do have the spawners coming on the side of 6 white people, so I have to be really careful to set up. I say that Knife and Spine, kind of isolated from the rest of the team, gonna get taken down by the bomb, chasing into lower there. And it's still gonna be a little bit of a 40% ad actually on side of Mao's fingers. And gotta be careful on the side of 6 white people, as Bloom already starting the cap, as the push coming in, or excuse me, advantage inside of 6 white people, but it doesn't even matter as Flume just able to walk through lower, cap up the point, and Flume going for last, probably going to go down, does go down. But that does allow their team to buy time, even it up. Now we got to contest over the second point. Trade's going to come out. Kind of pretty poor health inside of 6 white people. Juxi completely out of the fight though with no health. And now it's going to be just going to even dry fire as both scouts now down on side of 6 white people. So only Salt projectiles now. And it looks like the aggression coming onto Knife and Spine. Knife and Spine going to go down. And once again, kind of a late retreat on the side of 6 white people, kind of the aggression. Once again, a bit of an overstay, and not much hope of holding on to this without a miracle as they take down the heavy with the focus fire and cap it off. Evening it up once again, 3-3.
Yeah, 3-3. I'm taking a look at that. Knife and Spine is still top damaging for his team, but it's 9-21 on demo. A little bit chaos game style. I appreciate watching it though, even though it's a little bit, you could say silly, but I appreciate the chaotic game style as we're into this next mid, and don't know what's gonna happen. Doorknob actually eats a little bit of early damage this time, so definitely health favoring 6 white people this mid. Health really favoring 6 white people. Here comes the aggressive bomb. Saturn gets the kill onto Doorknob. Juxi does trade out Saturn. D-Squared catches a bow. Knife and Spine gets Sebers, who was going for a bomb. And that's a 5v4, and there goes Mal. They're already out. But being down a demo means, I think, yeah, here comes 6 white people. They're already pushing, even though Squish is just capping.
Well, I like the pressure again. Not really holding the doorways on side of Mao Zedong, but yeah, I think they maybe could have like held that a little bit more aggressively, given that 6 white people had one back capping. So regardless, don't lose anybody on the way out. In this case, perhaps in such a close game, maybe find a play on the safer side if they're not feeling confident.
Yeah, oh, Knife and Spine down to 18 again. It looks like he's going to get safely healed up. But something also to point out is we're almost at that 30-minute mark. It is 3-3, 45 seconds left in the game timer. So since we have that continuous overtime, if nobody caps in 40 seconds, well, I mean, yeah, if nobody caps in 40 seconds, the max rounds will be 4. So the first team to 4 rounds. So this could potentially be just a 4-3 game. But if 6 white people manage to get around pretty quickly, that might potentially cause something to change. Although Knife and Spine goes down, so that might change things. Saturn goes down in lobby as well, trying to go for something. 2 very low players on the side of Mao, but they're going to be able to heal up as BBL already pressuring out the rest of the team. And
gotta watch for Sebers.
Oh, Sebers is in!
With the flank, doesn't get the force. That's gonna be massive advantage on the side. Full advantage on the side of Mao Zedong. As I say that, D-Squared with their own Knife and Spine play, just going to the single sack into the whole team, but not able to get anything. And that's going to make it much easier having one less soldier to deal with. Of course, you never know what's going to happen when you're pushing into 6 white people here. The fingers versus the people, and kind of standard play. Saturn going into the bomb, but a pretty solid follow-up by Squishers, but might be a little bit too much as they lose 2. Not exactly what you want out of this. And now, I mean, even though you get to force in these situations, going to be very hard to hold this. But got to be a little bit careful, you know. Once again, not everybody in on the side of Mao Zedong, so it's basically a 4v4. Nonetheless, did you get the kills? And Cornsauce actually living for so long here, playing around those boxes, using that high ground, gets the kill, and it's going to force Mao Zedong's team to retreat.
They stayed on that. That was like a 3v4, 3v5, and they didn't even have their spawners getting there, and they stayed and held. That is pretty insane. I guess they do have Uber, but here comes that aggressive push in from 6 white people. It's only about a 30% Uber ad now, and BBL is quickly building that, building Uber to hopefully eliminate that, although 6 white people's already bringing their combo in through Saw. I think an aggressive Uber is coming. Oh no, just an aggressive Knife and Spine bomb. He is in. Ward does get forced, and there's the aggressive Uber from from Balada in return, but they do actually lose Knife and Spine. Flume gets it killed onto D-Squared. Saturn in on lower is going to get cleaned up. That's 3 down for 6 white people, and Mao will now be pushing in shortly.
Looks like some kills happened outside the Uber, so it could have been a pretty even fight. Ends up being a pretty dominant win by Mao, kind of with the flank going in their favor. And surprise, you know, it looks like 6 white people will be able to retreat here, and kind of as you alluded to before, we're now in a very precarious game state as it is 3-3. Next round wins it.
Oh yeah, this is definitely not what I expected. I guess I didn't expect this much aggression, but it's honestly kind of fun to see how it just the game completely changes from the team's just chilling, they're stalemating, and then suddenly there's just absolute like insanity with the knife and spine bomb. Of course, that's now a classic that we're gonna expect to see more of. I can't wait to see how that manifests on Gully Wash. Is he gonna bomb more on Gully Wash? I'm so curious to see, but. Uh, Anyways, it is even Ubers, even players, so it is on Mao to get something done. Squish with a little bit of an aggressive spotting mission here, just in Saw. Mao, I think it's just talking over what they're doing. They're getting really healthy. That's really good buffs from them. So we'll see what they elect to do with their sack attempt. They're still discussing. I think they're talking about something they're maybe not used to, or maybe Severs is a little bit confused or wanted to try something out or something. Not sure, but they're finally going to work their way into lower here. Juxi is sitting in that window. Here comes a bomb from Severs. Looks like Severs fades away. Juxi comes in, misses up the speed shot, does go down. BBL gets a trade onto Saturn, though.
Yeah, I do at least like the play attempt, sending multiple people to pressure and win the fade. But Severs going in, hits the direct onto the med. It's not going to be enough, though. As now, down both soldiers on the side of Mao Zedong, so they have to be very careful. It's going to be kind of hard to hold all the doorways. There must be an open doorway somewhere. But unfortunately, all of 6 white people going the same doorway, trying to test their luck with the demo, knife and spine, leading the charge. But yeah, every whole team trying to flood through the low ground into the demo is not going to be the direction of the push you usually want. So that's going to die on the vine right there. Flume almost going down, but now it is 6 white people who have lost 2, losing both soldiers. Now it's a very good opportunity for Mao Zedong's fingers to flood in and see if they can take this point. But again, never know what to expect versus 6 white people. It's knife and spine on a 3K right now, taking down Severs. And as I say that, the med goes down. I didn't even see what happened. The drop, and that's going to be a potential game winner on the side of Mao Zedong's fingers. All they have to do is touch this last point, and then that could be the first map in their favor. Only squishers left, getting taken down, trying to preserve the logs, trying to pad the stats with the kill into Juxi. But neither going to die nor get the kill for the logs, and that's going to be Mao Zedong with a well-fought comeback, starting out 0-2, but ultimately winning the map 1 4-3.
Yeah, I'm interested to see. It looks like Doorknob with I think one of the changes that Mao made was Doorknob played a lot closer and was getting caught out a lot less near the end of that game, which I really do think helped them, and Doorknob's logs definitely show that. Besides that, there's nothing crazy to note that we haven't already mentioned. I don't think. I don't see anything crazy. I mean, I guess Balata did have a lot of deaths. Maybe that was just because of the all that crazy aggression, but I don't know. I don't really see anything else in the logs.
Yeah, kind of what I want to see. So if I, as the coach, and I could give like 2 pieces of advice for each team, I'd say 1, for 6 white people, I mean, I like the aggression, but definitely overstaying still in a lot of these situations. Just not really. And one thing I'd also say for both teams is I'm not really seeing either team really effectively lock out the doorways. It just kind of turns into dry fight after dry fight after dry fight over and over and over again. Then on the side of, especially on the side of blue team, like I said, I think you're right in saying that Doorknob not getting caught out a little bit later. I think she made some good adjustments there, just playing a little bit closer to the team. I think that's definitely a game changer there. That allowed Mao Zedong's fingers to come back. Nonetheless, though, I would like to see a little more togetherness from the rest of the team because it does kind of feel like I see like 2 teams playing. It's like a group of 3 and another group of 3, and it feels like they're not really on the same page. It feels like sometimes like I don't know, they split up, kind of like Scooby Doo situations, split up and look for clues. Like, and sometimes if both sub teams win their fights, then they kind of win. So, but it doesn't feel like the aggression is synchronized quite as well as it is on 6 white people.
Yeah, and I mean something to also point out, I think, is 6 White People has had to bring a lot of players throughout the season through various roles, so they've kind of had their roster been, kind of in shambles, unfortunately, which means a lot of lack of consistency. So I think maybe they're just thinking, okay, to help make up for the fact that we don't have the same players like in most of our matches, we're just going to be super aggro, and that makes it a lot easier to coordinate. It almost worked out for them as we are going into Gully Wash here, map 2 shortly. And I'm taking a peek at those previous records for the teams. Six white people both lost to and beat another playoff team, the two playoff teams that are facing each other simultaneously in the other match on Gully Wash. And in terms of Mao, they beat another. They only had one game where they. Yeah, it looks like they only had one game, I believe. Yeah, where they just had a quick or like a 5-1 win against a below playoffs team.
Yeah, and one thing, speaking of records, I was doing some investigation into Knife and Spine 2009. It does seem like they, have a bit of a record. In 2021, was banned for inappropriate team name or password, which I think that's an interesting ban reason. Why would RGL ban you for a password? I mean, come on. Anyway, but 2021 next, use of homophobic slur in a scrim. Later in 2021, another use of homophobic slur during a scrim. Later in 2021, failure to submit demos, first
No.
offense. And then 2022 to 2024, account sharing 6 months, banned for 2 years. But now, Knife and Spine back to dominating the playoffs. And like I said, everyone knows that's the player to watch right now.
Yes, of course. He's going to be changing stuff up. His aggression. I really want to see how he changes stuff up because Gully Wash is a lot more closed in. The bombs are going to be like from a demo perspective, they're a lot more awkward. I would say, like besides the rollout, which I mean, we assume both these demos will be able to execute solidly every time. I mean, this is IM. It's not like newcomer or anything. So they should be able to execute it properly every single time, or pretty much every single time. But I'm curious to see if these like weird potential jump angles and whatnot influence how Knife and Spine plays, especially because they did end up losing the map and he had a lot of deaths. So I'm curious if they decide to play differently because of that, or maybe he's just going to be like, instead of bombing, I'm just gonna, I don't know, maybe he switches to, because I think he was on Iron Bomber, right? So maybe he just like switches to lock and load quickies and just starts going just really aggro, trying to just instantly take fights, but maybe not. We'll see. I'm curious to see what adjustments are made by six white people here.
Yeah, like you said, kind of hard to say because it is a very different map. And it's a lot harder to aggress on this map since the doorways are so much closer. But then again, like I said, neither team really doing a great job holding close to the doorways, really locking things out. So maybe we will see more of the same. It's kind of hard to say. Another interesting stat I want to point out: on the side of six white people, got six players. On the side of the six fingers of Mao Zedong, also six players. Do you think this is a coincidence?
Uh maybe it could be. Not sure. Definitely don't check Sauce Six's RGL profile. But anyways, yeah, it's probably a coincidence. I think, right? Yeah, it's got to be a coincidence. As, I mean, there's no other way it could be anything else. But yeah, I don't know if I mean, we saw a little bit of sniper, but that was like on last. I'm honestly surprised we didn't see the spy from six white people. I was so sure we were gonna see it because I'm pretty sure I remember them using it a lot during the season, but I guess I've been proven wrong as they haven't pulled it out yet. But if you need to win, pulling out a spy that they haven't seen before can definitely be something to catch the enemy team off guard, and that can be pretty important, especially in playoffs. But I wonder if that's something they're even thinking about. Maybe they're just focusing on just sticking with the default six classes, or maybe they are thinking about more off classes. Not sure what they're thinking about.
Yeah, I think I think the game pace is just too fast for the sniper and the spy at the moment. There's just so much action happening. There hasn't really been a whole lot of time to kind of go to that off class, and it does seem like no matter like if it's a sack in favor of the one team or a sack where it goes wrong, they lose too many players. Something happens after people sack. There's never just like a raw, oh, we sack one, we sack one, we sack another one, blah blah blah. Repeat for 4 minutes, till round reset, replay the mid. It's yeah, action has been happening. They've been getting involved.
Yeah, I wonder if that's going to change. Maybe there's going to be some more crazy plays, but we do have actually an important update. Severs, the ringer for the side of Mao, has been replaced by the main player, Senate. So, or not the normal soldier, Senate. So Senate is going to be back with his team. I wonder if that's going to change the dynamics there and make them even more coordinated. That might spell an issue for six white people here, as just having your full roster can definitely be an advantage because you just play with the same people and you get to learn how they play. But maybe not. Maybe enough of the adjustments will have been made that that'll lead to Six white people being able to take this second map and move it into Metalworks, which is map 3, which we may not need, but if six white people win this, then we will need that Metalworks decider.
Yeah, kind of another thing I want to point out, kind of like I alluded to earlier, is that I think at this point Mao needs to just kind of be aware of the chaos coming. I think they need to be kind of ready for every situation, ready for someone to come out of any corner, bomb from any angle. I think if they can do that, especially which you definitely can, do much easier on goalie watch given kind of low ceilings, kind of thinner choke points. Then I think they can have a good chance of running away with the game, especially given the fact that their usual starting player has shown up for the second map. So we'll see how that goes. And like I said, on the side of six white people, the two keys to victory here, I'd say, is locking out the chokes appropriately and just trying to be a little bit more willing to leave in these situations without kind of overstaying and leading that chain feed. I'm not going to say Knife and Spine needs a change up. Anything they're doing, I think that this is their play style. Got to stick to what you know for now.
I mean, honestly, it's something I don't normally expect. I don't think I really ever see the consistent demo bombing in, except at like lower levels, and it's like not even like getting absolutely punished, because demo bombs are actually honestly like not like the actual bomb is not that ineffective. Like demo is a pretty scary class, but the problem is you also just lose your demo, which is something you really don't want to do, and the soldiers can easily jump out, whereas the demo just like can't. And so you see a lot of these times where he just bombs in and he's expecting to die, but he's like just saying, "Okay, soldiers, I'm just doing a lot of damage and leading the way for you, and you guys are basically going to be, cleaning up on damage for me," which is an interesting strategy. But it's not like too bad for them so far. So I wonder, I don't know if he'll really change it, but with Gully Wash, it might be a little bit harder to get those crazy bombs, but who knows? Maybe he'll still go for those bombs. And this is what I was expecting. I was surprised we didn't see Flume on Sniper in the game, but we might be seeing Flume on Sniper here in map 2, maybe. We'll see. But, I have no idea. Because these, a lot of it can also just be like, what are you feeling, who dies first, all that kinds of stuff, all those kinds of reasons, which can determine who switches onto what off class. So there can be a variety of different factors. So I have no idea, honestly, who's going to go to what. But I think we'll see a little bit more off classing, but I'm not 100% sure. But we should be going live here decently shortly, I believe.
Yeah, but once again, kind of like I mentioned previously, it looks like six white people has ironically taken the red side and Mao on the blue still. But yeah, I mean, this is also a goalie wash. You did mention the sniper. I think it could be an interesting angle for Flume to take, since I'd say like goalie wash probably is like one of the weakest maps for flank scout, and Flume was kind of really popping off on the flank scout last map. And at the same time, goalie wash does have some, it's got some pretty decent angles. I mean, across mid, it's pretty solid. 2 does have some potential opportunities. Last, not bad setup round. So yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised to see Flume maybe bring out the sniper a little bit, if that's something they usually do.
Okay, I think Siyo, our producer, has gone a little bit off the deep end, but we'll try to keep things a little bit more focused here. Oh, okay. So it looks like, yeah, on the side of Mao, just like some people using the restroom real quick, just, taking a break can definitely be important, especially after, like, honestly, a really back and forth map, especially a close one like that. So, just getting a breather, catching your breath, making sure you're ready for, another game, especially when it's going to be that high, that honestly, real like that high aggression level, especially for Mao, because they want to control that aggression and try to limit it, because it's been when they've been able to control it, I think it's been working out better for them. But when they're struggling it, like when it's too fast paced, I think they're getting a little bit outclassed. As we are going to go live here on map 2 of Gully Watch.
All right. Yeah, like I said, goalie wash gonna be a very different map from Snakewater, but yeah, I do expect the aggression to continue for six white people. Whether it'll work out for them as well as it did the first map, unsure, but I do expect it to continue here going into goalie.
Yeah, Flume already trying to walk up the elbow, excuse me, to try to get, oh my goodness, to get some damage onto Knife and Spine, but he eats it direct and then eats another rocket. And that, along with the trading of demos, Doorknob going down, And Jukesy eventually going down as well, I believe, being caught in behind. That's now 3 up for 6 white people. They're already going to be working their way into second shortly, and Mao has already retreated their entire way up to last. He's just sent it up here in river, but he's slowly waddling his way over to last, trying to preserve those crit heals, I'm assuming. And they've just completely given up second, and it's on to the last hold here. And we do have a gun from Flume, no sniper, but both teams have Uber, so maybe we'll see something else like a Pyro or a Heavy. I wouldn't be surprised if we see something like that. Well, I guess BBL can't Heavy, but you might see a Pyro or something like that. But
Yeah, just as you say that, looks the Sentry already going to go down, so it does open up some opportunities. And we do look like we have Corn Sauce going for the water play and just get the cap point, but no one even really close to it. Can't really get too much space on it just due to the stickies there, trying to jiggle it a little bit. We have the bombs coming in and doesn't get the med, but gets 2. I would like to see 6 white people continue the aggression here. No soldiers really stuffed or only 1 soldier stuffed the doorway. No sentry gun up, so yeah, I would really like to see 6 white people. Maybe send another. Corn Sauce looks like maybe going back for the water. Doesn't have traps on point this time. Is spotted out. Soldier's gonna get on the ring, deny that play, and Pyro's gonna shoot a little puff of flame, and Corn Sauce is gonna retreat back, regrouping with the team, and kind of next wave of sacks coming, but still no sentry gun back up on side of Mao Zedong's fingers, so just the Pyro and Heavy, kind of unusual setup at the moment, and we will see Flume switch back to Engineer, go back to kind of the normal hold it looks like.
yeah, and I think this time to help protect against that early spam with the gun, which is honestly often the first way to break through sacks like this, BBL is on Pyro to help protect. Juicy is also in water. I think they were just clearing it because they just worked their way right back out, and I believe they're looking back for those. Yeah, they're looking for those crit heals. So I think they were just doing a little quick clear to make sure nothing crazy is going on. Still no off classes on the side of 6 white people. I'm honestly really surprised they haven't pulled out anything like the Spy. But maybe just having those 2 scout ringers has changed up how they play. Saturn going aggressive, trying to get something, taking a fight with Jukesy. Jukesy is going to live, and the Gun of Flume is going to take down Saturn. So that's a pick for Mao. Doorknob getting very low, but she is able to surf out of Shutter, not going to get caught there. And Jukesy is in through Baby Door, going in through the river. We'll see if they're able to get anything.
Kind of taking a little peek on the Pyro, not really able to get all. Oh, as you say, the bomb coming in by Jukesy is able to get the force, and not going to be a whole lot of Uber left. Really do make anything with it. Not from Spine, actually not bombing in with that Uber, surprisingly, but is going to go down regardless. And now it's going to be a big Uber advantage on the side of Mao Zedong. Someone goes for the back cap, but it's not going to be enough. Saturn actually, at the same time, gets the med with a snipe. And that's going to be, almost was a big opportunity on the side of Mao Zedong's fingers to get off last. But clutch shot by Saturn, able to neutralize that.
I didn't even see him just swap on the sniper. He just charged up a body shot at main and just body shot the medic. And he even got another headshot off somewhere. He did eventually die, and he's going to switch right back off because now that they have that Uber advantage, you're going to want all your normal classes normally, especially soldiers, for pushing out the Gully Launch class. They're going to take control of this river, slowly clear out lobby, I would assume. Yep, they are going to clear out lobby. They're actually going to bring their combo into this river. We'll see. It looks like they're going to bomb on Knife and Spy. Knife and Spy is just walking through to start. He does get Ubered, but BBL is here to try to reflect. They do get through, and BBL is going to try to live here. D squared in water is going to go down to the reflect. Jukesy did go down to Squish. It's a 5v5 here, but with Flume up on the big HP heavy, that might help them. But the health is actually still really favorable for 6 white people. And Senate is low in water, is going to go down. It's just Doorknob and Ward alive, and that's going to be the first round in favor of 6 white people here. This was their map pick of Gully Wash, but, first round in favor of them.
Yeah, I think that's really good, kind of the re-aggression in the second phase of that last push, regrouping on the right, and all going together, focusing down the heavy very quickly. I think that's the key to victory. If they hesitated any longer, could have been pretty bad for them, but good focus fire there to win that round for 6 white people.
Yeah, we're into this next mid. Doorknob gets an early kill into the bombing Saturn there, trying to get that kill. Jukesy is going to go up drop down. They're actually just sitting there. They're waiting up drop down. Here comes the timing. They are going to pick off Knife and Spine as well, and they are behind the rest of the team. They're currently setting up a pincer, which means that Jukesy is going to able to potentially delay, but they actually just got the kill pretty quickly, and now it's a 3-on-3. 2 scouts for the side of 6 white people and a demo scout on the side of Mao. The Doorknob hits a nice pipe and gets another pipe onto Corn Sauce. and that's going to help clean everything up. Doorknob gets another kill. Very nice damage there, and that's going to secure the mid for Mao. And BBL is already looking to bring his combo in 2-second here. Knife and Spine trying to hold this off, but not really any sticky setup. Ward actually takes a bit of damage. A little bit scary there, kind of walk in front of the combo. D-squared bombing forwards. Doorknob gets some damage, forces her out. But it's just going to be some trading of damage, and eventually, slowly but surely, Mao is taking space on the second.
Yeah, I'd really like to see if 6 white people are going to stay in here, try to get better positions, because they're kind of just all on the floor right now, giving up all the positioning. And as you say that, the med drops the scout on the what looked like an attempt to trade, and really everybody's going to get dropped. Everybody's going to die, and it's just going to be Knife and Spine and Axel or Bellado retreating back to last. And this looks like it could very well be around for Mao, as they have the full Uber advantage pretty much, walking straight in. So much cap time already. Reclops under the point and the spawners coming in. Mao still could lose this, but yeah, it looks like a good second aggression here, and that's going to be kill after kill for Mao Zedong, and they're going to tie it up once again, 1-1.
Yeah, and Doorknob with some crucial damage there. She is topping the damage by quite a bit this time, but of course it's still early days. We have no idea how things will change yet, and it's only 1-1. You know, the match is definitely not settled. Things can definitely change, as we saw in that first map. There was a 2-0 lead for 6 white people, and then Mao brought it back 4-3. As we're into this third mid, Knife and Spine kills the medic. What? With the pipe? That is absolutely absurd. Now it's just going to turn into protect your own medic here. Protect the, defend the castle kind of thing. Mao is trying to go very aggressive. They're doing a decent-ish job of trading off the kills, and BBL is actually able to get the kill into Bellada, so that's going to help. It's just Doorknob left alive. She's going to go down. Cornsauce is trying to cut off her exit, but she does go into river, but Cornsauce is ready for it. Grabs that kill, and that's a solid win for, for 6 white people.
I would have liked to see Bellada kind of maybe play a little bit more baity there. Nonetheless, still able to win the mid.
Cornsauce is in? Okay.
Yeah, almost good try by Cornsauce, but kind of a feed even, because kind of makes it harder to push in here, as it looks like 6 white people, even with only 5 white people up, going to continue in, going to go for it, even with Cornsauce dead, and it's going to work out terribly, as everybody's going to die. And ironically, once again, Knife and Spine actually, one of the last people to die here, and that's going to be a disaster, just kind of that chain feed. I mean, it was working better in the previous map when they're kind of at least kind of feeding together, but kind of that split feed right there with Cornsauce dying and continuing on the push turned into an absolute disaster. And now momentum has completely shifted back to Mao Zedong, 6 fingers.
Yeah, Juicy, unfortunately, for Saturn, got a head rocket and then just a direct onto Saturn. Not Saturn's day. It's there's already... Oh, actually, excuse me. Ward gets very low. There's a lot of splash, just spam damage coming in onto Mao, so they're going to have to take their time, heal up. Doorknob very low. Flume tries to chase the player out of water, but there's so much damage that they eventually just decide to use, but Knife and Spine gets caught early in the Uber. That's really bad for the side of 6 white people. Gun already goes down. Flume gets all the cap time because there's no demo, and that's the round. 2-1 in favor of Mao. Yeah, just got to be careful about getting too aggressive. I think those lack of bombs is really hurting this team. 6 white people they seem a little flustered with the fact that Knife and Spine can't be leading that aggression with those bombs, but I wonder if they should be changing up their strategy if they want to, make sure they make it to this third map.
Yeah, I mean, I do feel like they are playing more defensively in this map, but it's not quite working out for them because they're just like kind of chain feeding not together now, so it's actually ironically kind of like working out worse for them. But we'll see. One of the slower mids we've seen so far, and does look like we will see 6 white people as the initial aggressor, but then the counter bomb coming from Juxi. Oh, and a big air shot by Saturn taking down Juxi. As I say that, and it's the kills being traded back and forth once again. But gotta be really careful. Ward needs to watch over this salvage. He needs to be very, very, very aware. It looks like everything should be spotted at the moment, so should be pretty safe. But again, expect the unexpected in games like this.
Yeah, Doorknob is behind, is going to meet up with D-Squared. They had no idea. Cornsauce was behind. He's going to back his way out into Baby Door. And Bellada gets caught again. He's by himself. Uh-oh, and he's going down. That's even more time that, that Mao has to work with. Bomb from Saturn trying to get the salvage force, but that's not going to work. That's 2 more down. Squish fighting by himself in river. Is he gonna get out? He is not gonna get out. That's 2 down more. Still 2 down, excuse me, for the side of 6 white people. So Mao is just gonna be able to walk their way into this without even using. They finally use. They get another kill. They're just constantly keeping up that 2-player out. This is really gonna be tough for 6 white people to hold more kills, and the kills are just all going in the favor of Mao. And it's just Knife and Spine left alive. He's gonna try to hold a point, but unable to do so, and that's 3-1 in favor of Mao.
Yeah, I'm just not seeing enough like early deaths from Knife and Spine. It seemed like things were working, which is Knife and Spine was the first one dead. And now that it seems like Knife and Spine's the last one alive in so many situations, it's just not going the same. 6 white people.
It's not. Doorknob is absolutely going nuclear, and I think that's part of their problem. I think Doorknob has just been doing a ton more damage and has just cleaned up, getting caught out alone. Saturn does get the kill into Doorknob, recognizing the problem. Knife and Spine gets a kill into BBL, so it's a 5v4 already. Ward very low. Flume goes down, and Ward's probably going to get cut out too. Yes, they are, but Juicy with a nice bomb to salvage gets the kill onto Bellata. So it is an Uber ad. Or excuse me, no Uber ad, but a mid one for the side of 6 white people. But we have the aggressive spawn camp from Knife and Spine. Gets a pipe onto BBL. Doorknob super low too. I think they just ate the same pipe, but Doorknob just gets the kill with the pipe onto Corn Sauce, and Knife and Spine's just going to set up a trap, and he's probably going to back out here. But it is going to be even Ubers setting up on this last point. I expect to see both teams trying to build. Actually, no, with the players that Mao they're already trying to push out, though they do lose Senate at the shutter door with those sticky traps. D-Square gets a kill with the Doorknob, and the kills are definitely favoring 6 white people here. They're going to grab
Watch out for Juxi or Juxi bombing in from behind, gets a rock onto the med, pushes them up against the wall, and that's going to be a med pick right there. But at the same time, everybody's dead, so the last 4 white people flooding into last should be able to get on this point in time. Can they get it? Ward will try to block it, but it won't be enough. 3-2, and now still in favor of Mao Zedong, but nearly evened up for the white people.
Yeah, and honestly, that momentum killing, I think, like destroying the 3 rounds in a row or whatever it was on the side of Mao, I think that's going to help 6 white people, hopefully for their sake, to make it onto this next third map. Because, you don't want to let the other team just start running away with all the mids in the entire game. This time, D-Squared with an aggressive bomb onto Doorknob again. They are definitely prioritizing getting damage onto Doorknob. Doorknob getting very focused. She's going to go down first on that side. Saturn did get killed by Senate, and it's just a 5-on-5 here. The health is kind of favoring 6 white people here, as they're kind of spread out, and they're a little bit under the heights, the little elevations in the mid, and they're actually just going to back up. Knife and Spine, crazy aggro, hits a pipe on the Flume, but doesn't get anything, but he was trying to chase that medic, and that's going to allow the rest of his team to just keep going in. They're still trying to chase. Doorknob, I think she was thinking about potentially re-peeking from Shutter, but she's just going to decide to back up, and it's going to be even Ubers here on this last as Knife and Spine respawns, so we're going to see some sort of sack attempt, I would assume, here shortly. Don't see any off classes, though.
And see, like I said, I know this is not textbook TF2, but the space made by Knife and Spine, I think it definitely intimidated the 6 fingers of Mao Zedong to kind of recoil and retreat there, even though it was maybe still possibly a fightable situation. So, really love to see that signature move by Knife and Spine, 2009.
Yeah, there's that gun up, and now Flume is on the sniper, something I was expecting a lot earlier, because I'm pretty sure Flume does like to snipe, but anyways, now we have Flume just on the defensive sniper, so nothing crazy. We'll see if anything comes of it. Finally taking the first shot, gets a charged body shot onto the demo, nothing much there. Squish in water, but does get spotted out quickly by Senate, who's getting a lot of damage. Squish is just going to back up, still dancing his way in there. I think that was, a nice headshot from Flume onto Saturn, another headshot onto the other soldier. That's what I figured I was going to be seeing, but so now 6 white people has to really be ready to deal with this sniper. Looks like they're still formulating exactly what they want to do. They know where the gun is, and they got to probably spam it down first. Squish again went for another attempted just cap pressure play, but nothing happened. Squish is still in water. He's just sitting there. He's just chilling. He's gonna eventually go back, and Senate's just says, well, I'm just gonna chill on the rim and wait here for you. Saturn actually comes in to help take 2v1, and that's a kill there in favor of, or a trade kill, excuse me, but Squish is still alive in water. Juxi is going to take, take Sennett's place on the rim.
She's
and
going
Squish
for it
is
as
actually
well.
in.
Just kind of edging that cap little by little by little. I mean, already has about half cap. Maybe could see another creative play here, kind of another sack wave. Maybe do the classic, send one water, send a soldier to bomb at the same time. I mean, once you have that much cap pressure, especially on the last, which caps so fast, like goalie wash, can't put a lot of pressure on the other team. As if they have Flume also going down. I would even like to see a triple sack coming out of 6 white people. I like them to sacrifice half their white people to try to get this force here, maybe get this cap.
Yeah, I mean, they also could try something like a pyro or something. Actually, they get forced, it looks like, or maybe this was their plan all along. They're going to try to get the gun. The gun finally goes down very late. BBL is going to switch off quickly, and there's a counter Uber from the side of Mao. Saturn goes in, tries to bomb, is going to get cut off. That's that 3-player sack, although since there was that Uber exchange, this is not really going to be very holdable from the side of 6 white people. Knife and Spine gets a nice trap kill onto Senate. That is going to help, but it's not going to be enough since they're still down 5v3. And yeah, Mao's going to quickly take their way, or work their way.
Watch out for this potential flank play. We got maybe the little bit of a flank shove possibly, but it does look like Cap is going to come out too fast. So corn sauce and D-squared. Going to give it up. Reset back on mid. Tiny Uber advantage inside. 6 white people. As I say that, 6 white people deciding to just walk through the choke once again. Choke's not being held by Mao Zedong, and the signature move. Knife and Spine bombing and making so much space. And one person going to go down, and they're just going to, again, all of Mao Zedong just not playing confident enough, just backing up in the lobby. Now deciding to re-aggress, though, taking advantage of that demo pick on, and it looks like, actually, you know, same mistake on the side of 6 white people not holding the doors in the other direction. Now it's going to turn back into a dry fight, and Mao Zedong kind of just going to waddle through low ground, shredding one by one. Squish is going to go down, and then rest of white people, rest of Axel, or Bellata, Knife and Spine, and Saturn going to retreat, but no scouts here. Got to be very cautious of bombs and chases following up. I say that BBL and doesn't have the best protection, but then the soldier able to kind of get into the choke. Bellata kind of stuck in the corner now. Will they be able to get out? Everybody really low in this corner, and it's kind of just one death after one death on the side of Mao Zedong, losing finger by finger. Will they lose the hand? They will not, as BBL, the thumb of Mao Zedong, able to retreat along with the 6th finger, I guess. And as I say that, though, Blada doesn't have anybody with him right now. Gets forced by the men.
What is happening?
Now themselves as they get pushed out, flushed down, dropped down, and what did I just witness?
The Mets were like, they were like holding hands and dropped down. And
the 6th finger of Mao forcing with the head of, that sounds like a euphemism, but it really isn't. Anyway, moving on. We got 6 white people getting into lobby here, and they do have, I think they know they have a little bit of Uber at, even though they were forced by the solemn vow right there. They will have probably like 20% Uber advantage, which, you know, on a fast capping point like goalie wash, you know, very much playable here. So as again, like only about, you know, 8 seconds to work with off this Uber, but yeah, I do. Oh, they're just gonna flood water, bringing the water back to goalie wash, and they got 3 people in, right touching the point. Uber comes out, Knife and Spine getting the reflash, 5% left, but they almost touch, and they do get it, pushing people away with that last scattergun shot. They tie it up. 6 white people just flooding on the point, just hitting with a very, you know, kind of shocking, just all dive on the point, all in play. Either all of us die or we win the round. And this time, just barely, they win the round by a sliver and a couple %.
Yeah, those 6 white people able to match up and defeat these 6 fingers better than a 1-for-1 trade. Flume just walks at Knife and Spine and taunts. My goodness, he was just like, I'm sick of you spamming. I'm just going to walk at you. Doorknob gets a pipe onto Squish, who is going to go down to another pipe from Doorknob. Corn Sauce is caught in. Saturn is behind. And Warren is safely still on full HP, although there are still some low players here on the side of Mao. But Senate actually is going to get Corn Sauce as well. Doorknob gets that kill into Saturn. Senate is going to continue chasing and catches Bellata. Knife and Spine was the spawner. It was just Bellata left. And Senate is still trying to chase, but they are just going to both lick their wounds and back out here. Squish is continuing to try to get aggressive. I think he's trying to chase the damage. And I think he sees the demo and decides better evidence, just going to leave. Wait. Okay, yeah, and he somehow worked his way out. And now it's going to be an uber ad push here from the side of Mao. Nightfaul really aggressive in river, gets the kill onto Flume, and is still aggressive in river as here comes the uber from Mao.
Yeah, early scout pick is absolutely huge for this post fight, and they get the other scout picks, so really just no cleanup on the side of Mao Zedong at the moment. And yeah, it looks like it's going to be a dominant last fight hold on the side of 6 white people, but at the same time, in the chaos, they just need to kind of slow it down a little bit to be aware of their surroundings, because losing their med does kind of, sacrifice or kind of lose what could have been a big opportunity to retake mid, and also aren't going to be able to get the denies. So actually, it's kind of a bit of a refight opportunity, possibly. It actually does look like they got denies, just barely got the denies there. So as I say that, can't really prod into mid without the heals there. Just not really going to be able to get through this spam. They do try to anyway, and they go down because of it. And that's going to be, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see something come out of Mao Zedong here. If they think they can, yeah, they get the second pick, 2 projectiles down on the side of 6 white people. So yeah, they're just going to flood right through the choke here. Wise move. And, I do like the move by 6 white people here to retreat. But it looks like they reaggress and actually catch a feeder. Send it going a little bit too fast. They're just going to kind of spam, but got to be really aware of Juxi behind. Could kind of bomb from this lower area into the upper. Might get something out of it, but maybe spotted by D squared there. Hard to say. But just Nightfaul trying to solo hold second all by himself. Is going to wisely retreat, get this health back, and actually going to stay alive here, shockingly. Got to watch out as the Uber comes out, just walking straight into last, just flooding onto the point, and just nobody here, because once again, the overstay weren't. I mean, when you stay in the upper area for so long, that time they weren't punished by the aggression, nobody died, but then, Mao just saw that as an invitation to walk straight through and just, yeah, beat 6 white people back to last, able to go up 4-3, and now put it on match point.
Yeah, especially because on this map, it's very easy to just quickly run to last from mid, and we're already going to see the next mid fight here. It's 4-3, 1 round away for Mao to win this entire series and move on and continue in the upper bracket. Flume kills Nightfaul. Flume does get traded. Very low HP on one player. Here comes an aggressive bomb from D squared. Saturn goes down as well. That's 3 down on the side of 6 white people. 4 down. Squish catches another pipe. And now it's just Corn Sauce and Balata trying to leave. Juxi is going to try out to catch off the exit, but I think Corn Sauce is barely going to get his medic out alive. He is going to go down, but he is going to get his medic out alive. Knife and Spine is there to try to continue to prevent his med from dying. Senate decided to not go for an aggressive catch-off, like trying to catch off Knife and Spine, even though he was kind of alone there, but he decides better of it and just leaves, and it's now an even Uber situation on second, as because Mao does not even have mid yet, 6 white people is just going to push out, and they're going to get a kill. They are going to get traded, or that kill is going to get traded, and now it's a 5-on-5. Although Juxi is behind in river, and the drop onto Balata. Oh no, they had no clue. Flume gets a kill, and they do eventually get the force, but this is going to be really tough. Although actually, Mao does not have the point yet, so BB Hell has to cap. But here comes Mao rushing in onto last. Only a few people left.
That's going to be it. Flume, MVP of the first map, capturing the point. Once again, just, yeah, huge. I believe that was the bomb by Juxi that got the drop there, putting the dagger in the hearts of 6 white people. And that's going to be another competitive map, 5-3. But in the end, Mao Zedong reigns victorious.
Yes, and that's
M17, I got to ask you something.
Yeah, sure, go ahead.
Is Taiwan a country?
That's quite a question for me.
What's the official What's the official RGL stance?
Am I allowed to say no comment? I think I'm allowed to say no comment, right? I think I'm allowed to say
saying no comment is a comment. But anyway, back to the match. Let's take a look at it. Let's take a look at these logs. See if we can see anything interesting here. So looking at the first map, I talked about that. On side of Knife and Spine, actually doing massive damage this time. Actually going positive, only 12 deaths, given it was a relatively chaotic game. But oh my god, Doorknob. Wow, 24 and 8. She's dropping an absolute nuke. It's 370 DPM, only 240 taken. I mean, at the end of the day, not only that, but also looking at the medic deaths, 5 less deaths on side of Ward. There's really good protection, and I think doing a lot better at dealing with some of that chaos. And yeah, I think those are the key factors that led to the victory of Mao Zedong's fingers. So, any other kind of last thoughts you have, M17? Anything else you want to point out? Or
Yeah, I am taking a look at these combined logs as well, and yeah, Doorknob was definitely the standout there for Mao. Just overall consistent, very solid damage. But besides that, there was a lot of med deaths. I feel like there's yeah. I'm looking. Axelpar's had 24 over the two maps. Ward had 13. I guess that's maybe expected if there's going to be a lot of chaos, but that was pretty crazy. 24. You got to be careful about your med dying so much because that can really make it hard for your team to win the fight, right?
definitely
Yeah.
like the 9 death differential. I think definitely does matter. Plus that one drop at the end to seal the deal. But at the same time, I mean, game's gonna be tough when you got a demo dropping this much damage on you with Doorknob, with top fragging on demo, with 2-1 KD, 48 kills. That's gonna be a tough one, especially when you have goalie wash. And even if they made it to Metalworks, I'm sure Doorknob would have made it. Still pretty tough for them.
Yeah, and that means Matt was going to go on to face going to face Highlander Gaming in the next round of playoffs. So we'll see how that works out again. And Infinite on the other side of the bracket is going to face Quake Academy. That match ended a bit earlier tonight, but those are what we expected based on the seeding. But it was still a pretty close match tonight.
Are you asking if you want to watch main playoffs right now, or is that? Yeah,
Sure.
I'm willing to do it.
Yeah, sure.
Why not? Let's keep it going. All right, it's Club Penguin versus Conductor. We have a problem. Looks like we will be going into a third map in this main series. So we will switch over to that shortly once we get the connect. Oh, I have the connect. Okay, so we're switching over to it now. So yeah, what do you know about these teams? M17. Anything about Conductor?
Yeah, actually, so for Club Peng, or I guess I'll start with Conductor. We have a problem. That was the team that won IM in season 14. I guess most of the players are the same. There's a couple of different players, but most of the players are the same. And then on the side of Club Penguin, there's a bunch of slightly newer IM victors. JFK and JFK won IM, in season 15. And there's a few other people. I believe that's Chill who won it in season 13. And Johnny's got a bit of experience in Maine, and so to Shine, got third in Maine a few seasons ago. Yeah, so both of these teams have some decent Maine experience, or at least like some decent IM move up experience, and they're both doing pretty well. And we're gonna go into that third map here, I believe. Actually, yeah, I'm curious what these rosters are, but it looks like it's going to be. Let me see if I can pull this up. But it looks like it's going to be. Yeah, it looks like it's. I'm assuming this is Amity Combo Scout, Garm Flank Scout, A2 Pocket Soldier, Chocolate Roamer, Freya Demo, and Sheet Med on the side of Conductor. We have a problem. And then I'm not 100% sure about the other side, but we'll see.
Yeah, I'm seeing a couple players I recognize. I know JFK kind of getting some hype as an up and comer. On the other side, we also have Asura on the side of Team Penguin. They have some ESCA IM experience. So they've been around for quite a while and definitely have that experience. So yeah, I mean, if I'm just looking at the names I recognize, I would probably lean towards Club Penguin, but again, kind of hard to say. I'm not really sure what these teams have been up to this season. I've not been following Maine too closely at this season.
Yeah, third map is going to be Sunshine. Club Penguin won both of their games on Sunshine, and Conductor, we have a problem, did also win their one game on Sunshine, but looks like that might have been pretty expected. So there's nothing really unique to point out there. In terms of the matchups, let me see if I can take a peek here at previous matchup history. Yeah, so I see the only matchup they've had was a Week 5A match on Gully Wash, where Club Penguin did win 4-2 over Conductor. We have a problem, but it looks like in this match, yeah, there's no Gully Wash at all. It's just Snake, Granary, and Sunshine is the third map, and that's the one we're going to be seeing. And Gully Wash was actually the first ban of Club Penguin. Interesting, even though they won it against Conductor. That's interesting.
Yeah, it looks like we do got 11 server. Should be getting started relatively quickly. Like I said, we didn't watch the first two maps as we were casting the other series for IM playoffs. So not really sure how this one's even going so far. I guess we could take a quick look at the logs, maybe get some sort of information out of that. Let's see if I can pull that one up real quick.
Yeah, I'm pulling up these. I'll link them to you guys shortly. I'm curious to see what we got.
Let's see, trying to find the logs on. Okay, yeah, looks like it was a really close match on Granary, 3-4. Amity having a bit of a rough game, but I mean, I don't know if they've played a whole lot of Granary, and that map can be pretty rough on Scout if you're not really familiar with it. I'd say it's a bad Scout map necessarily. I mean, obviously it is like historically the more the soldier map, but nonetheless, it is a bit tough on flank Scout if you're not really used to playing it. And on the side of the Penguins, the Scouts kind of dominated. It looks like, especially the Penguin going 35-13. Quite effective. And actually, ironically, the Soldier's not really putting up any really crazy stats. Chinese Penguin, though, the demo man, that did have a very nice but not crazy game. So looking pretty even at the moment. Like not really anything that really stands out too much. And looking at Snakewater on the flip side, yeah, I mean, definitely looking like the Scouts putting up, or especially the combo Scout on the side. Conductor, we have a problem putting up some big numbers, and that would be Garm as I cross-reference the scoreboard.
Yeah, and it looks like it is going to be. That's kind of what I expected. Yeah, so it looks like that's going to be the roster for for Club Penguin, I believe, is going to be Gratitude Medic, Johnny on demo. We've got JFK, I believe, is on. Let me take a peek at this. Is that right? Okay, yeah, JFK is on Combo Scout. That's interesting. And then Asura on Pocket Soldier. And then let me take a little peek at these other two. It's a Hellfire on Flank Scout and Shine on Roamer.
So I got a question.
Sure.
Not even joking. I actually forgot the question. Say
Nice.
something else.
Yeah.
That wasn't even a joke. That's not a bit. That's just like I actually forgot what I was gonna say.
Yeah, no, don't worry. That happens to me all the time, unfortunately. But yeah, I mean, I definitely, a lot of these players have been, they all have pretty, like, it feels like every single one of these players has practically been in Upper IM playoffs like a few seasons ago. And it makes sense now that they're already in Upper Main playoffs, although maybe you would have expected this like a season or two earlier. But honestly, it makes sense that it eventually is going to happen. Yeah, I guess it depends on which season. So Freya was, I believe, got second a couple of seasons ago. I believe that was season 16 of IM. Wow, it's been a while. So in IM, so we're seeing her now in this. What else is there that's really interesting? I mean, yeah, like you said, Asura has a lot of experience. Definitely has the most experience. I'd say Chocolate has the second most experience, but um, I still think Asura has a lot more experience, as we are going to go live into this third map here shortly. Do you have any predictions?
I think I'm gonna lean on the side of the Penguins for this. I think they've got. It feels like they got a lot of momentum from the previous map. And I think their players are going to continue, especially their combo scout. I believe that is the Penguin. I think they're going to continue to do quite well in the Sunshine, and I think that's going to be a difference maker. As I said, Garm also putting up very impressive numbers, so we'll see.
Yeah, we're into this first mid. Actually, she takes a lot of early damage here. Amity and Chocolate going very aggressive. Chocolate gets 2 off of that, and the kill's really favoring the side of, Conductor. Amity is going to clean up that final kill, and with that, that's going to be a clean mid-win for Conductor. We have a problem, but she did die to Shine from a bomb there, so that's going to guarantee that it is going to be even Ubers as everybody is going to spawn up, and it looks like A2 and Amity are already trying to work their way onto second, trying to see what space they can grab, but there's already the recontest. Actually, I'm sorry, I had that wrong. I think JFK is on demo and Johnny is on combo scout. I guess that makes a little bit more sense, but anyways. There's just a bit of a second fight here. Both teams kind of posturing. No team really wanted to go super aggressive so far.
kind of flooding into the second. Oh, we got to watch out. A little bit of fight going on the flank here. And on the side of Conductor, we have a problem. They do, in fact, have a problem, as they've kind of lost 2 people on this push, and maybe a little bit slow to get out here, but are going to get out just in time, it looks like. But maybe I spoke too soon, actually, as JFK looking to cut them off, trying to lock them in. It looked like Chocolate might have, they kind of just stood still for a while, might have lagged out, hard to tell. And that's unfortunate time for that to happen, as Sheep going to get cleaned up. I don't think it would have mattered, given how caught they were, but that's going to be a really good chase by Club Penguin, cutting them off. And now flipping the momentum back their way. Conductor, we have a problem. Doesn't look like they're going to get the spawns at time, so Amity might backspawn here. Yeah, it looks like they will backspawn. And that's going to be a big advantage on side of Club Penguin. Probably able to roll this last. We'll see how they execute this last push, though.
Yeah, with making that kill onto the medic, that is a nice big Uber ad. They are just still deciding where they want to go. Looks like they're going to go top right and lead on their demo. They are. Here comes the aggressive Uber. Well, nobody's on the right side at all. Everybody's on the left side. The gun finally goes down. Here comes the push out of the other side. JFK gets the kill onto Sheep, but 2 picks favoring Conductor is really going to help them secure this fight. 2 more picks favoring them, even though they did lose 1 more player. Now it's just Gratitude left alive. Freya is pursuing. Gratitude sneaks their way back into. No way.
Oh,
no way. No.
Is this it? Is this the dagger?
Oh my goodness.
and
What a play from Gratitude. Oh
cap.
no. Conductor has got to be feeling so frustrated after that one.
That's that's a huge momentum play. That's such a tilter. If you're outside of Conductor, we have a problem. If your problem is the med backcapping you to seal the first round of the 3rd map, then yeah, that's a problem. And are we paused? It looks like, yeah, it looks like we are paused. Is this up to date, or I wasn't sure if this has the plugin. So is this a future pause? Yeah, so it is a future pause, unrelated to the rollout. Probably a bit of a technical pause, I imagine. Unless we see either a technical pause in the future, or the prediction could be one team rolls, maybe even Club Penguin rolls mid to last, and we have a bit of attack pause after that. We'll see. I do remember seeing one of the players on, I believe, Conductor, we have a problem, lagging out, it looked like. So maybe have some technical issues there. We will see.
Yeah, that if it is like a quick a quick round there, and it's a 2-0 and a pause after that, then that would be a very fast round, just a clean. It would be a clean mid-fight win for Club Penguin, but I mean that is pretty quick, and the first round was not that quick. It still took 4 minutes, so I really don't. It's probably not going to be that. We'll see. We'll see. We have no idea. Maybe it's just some lagging out problems. I wouldn't be surprised if there's some internet issues going on here.
Yeah, he might be something like, I don't know, you tried to install Mahjong, which I heard can really mess up your PC these days.
Something like that.
Anyway, but yeah, I do want to briefly talk about that previous last push. From what I saw, so first of all, you'll see pretty consistently, and something I've noticed from casting and obviously from playing, if you use in the door where the gun isn't and you don't kill the gun fast, then your odds of winning last push drastically go down. On the flip side, other thing I see that happens a lot, scouts trying to bait the point a little too long, trying to get greed for that round win. Of course, it did work out in the end, but that's more of a bit of a fluke, if we're being honest. So I would like to see, I love the point pressure from the scout there on side of Club Penguin. I just don't want to see the overstay, because if you overstay on the point, don't cap it, and then get killed by the counter bomb, does make it much harder playing that post fight without a scout. So I want to see those 2 things out of Club Penguin. One, on the next last push, using in the right door with the gun, and 2, having the scout not overstay on the point, because it was a really good counter bomb and block on the side of Conductor. We have a problem. Good, pretty well executed last hold up until that point where they let the med get away, give them the run around, and then cap last. So good last hold, just the cleanup after, not the best.
Yeah, and you definitely always got to be. Yeah, spotting is honestly a really. It can be an underrated thing in those lower levels, but spotting is super important. It can just give you so much info on, like, you can also just imply some info about, just based on what you see in one of the other doors. Like from one door, you can imply some info about what players are like close to other doors and whatnot, where the sentry is. All that different info can be really important to making your Uber push successful. Which is why, I mean, like that and the scout pressure, I think, is why that first or like the little bit overcommittal from the scouts on Club Penguin, I think was why they were a little bit. It looked like they were supposed to be losing that, but then obviously Gratitude just did a little bit of a juking through dungeon and nice back hat play. Yeah, gotta be careful about that, as we are gonna get. It looks like. Okay, I think we have a repause. I think that means it is a connection issue, but we will see. But we'll probably be going live very shortly here.
Yeah, and that last mid was a kind of a bloodbath. Just rotated a little bit and then instant aggression, and pretty much everybody died aside from like 2 people. So we'll see if that happens again. Hard to really make any conclusions after that first mid, but yeah, hopefully we will be getting started relatively soon. Of course, it's a weekday. People have work tomorrow, school, etc., etc. I guess most people don't have school at this point since it's summer. I wish I was still in school. I wish I still had a summer break. But anyway. Enough about that.
Yeah, you got any prediction? Oh, wait, you did predict for this map. I need to predict for this map.
Yeah, what do you think? Yeah, I know you've seen a little bit of information at this point.
Yeah, I have seen a little bit of information, so maybe it is a little bit unfair. So I guess I am going to feel like Club Penguin is going to win this, but I don't think it's going to be... I want to say 4-2 in favor of Club Penguin. I want to say 4-2. I'm curious to see if Conductor, we have a problem, is able to turn this around, but yeah, 4-2. And actually, yeah, that's interesting, because I'm pretty sure... Wait, let me take a peek at these rosters one more time.
Kind of another thing I want to point out is that, they're like... The one... Oh, shit. Oh, never mind. Oh, we're back.
Never mind.
Back onto the next mid. Second mid of map 3. And nothing too crazy so far. We just kind of get kind of a mirrored rotation here, but a lot of damage on the side of Club Penguin, all really kind of clumped up here. And JFK gets the lock and load, takes down Garm. That's the huge pick right there. Let's say the evil Penguin, the med, going down. And it's once again, it's just instant bloodbath. I mean, I think that pick onto Garm and the immediate aggression after, I love that. Out of the side of Club Penguin, just really punishing the fact that, okay, Scout died, now let's bomb in, get on their face while they don't have a Scout to deny. And yeah, even though they lost their med during that, maybe not exactly what they wanted, still are going to probably get second out of this. And yeah, really like that instant follow-up. And Emperor Penguin kind of going for a little bit of a kind of solo play there. Will they spot the trap? Nope, they don't. JFK sets up the quickie bombs, takes down Freya. And it's going to be a 5-on-5. Could be a dry fight opportunity here. Just got to keep in mind, one of the Penguins on the flank is a little bit low. Nonetheless, other Penguin does get the pick. And this is a very rough situation. Oh, huge chase down. And it's once again, amazing aggression on the side of Club Penguin. Club Penguin going to be rolling on to last. Just got to watch out. Some miracle play right here. Just wanting to see them touch the point. Freya all by themselves. Getting pushed back to spawn. And that looks like a decisive and fast round win on side of Club Penguin.
It looks like it was actually both, because Shine also lagged out right at the end of that after it was just Freya and multiple people alive. So it looks like that's also what happened. So hopefully no more lag issues this time, as what's it called? Oh yeah, he timed out. But nice air shot from Shine there on the mid fight, and we're getting into this next mid. Yeah, I'm curious to see if there's anything different, because if it's just gonna keep being a bloodbath, it's gonna be awesome. JFK gets an early kill onto Freya, and that's just gonna spell Conductor leaving instantly. Losing your demo early is never something you want, and that's gonna be, I'm assuming, an attempted second push. Yeah, they're already bringing their combo through Valley.
Keep in mind, I like the aggression. They have to be careful knowing it's a 5v5, and Johnny with the flank going all the way through lower, taking a really weird route here. He's gonna get spotted out. Got a body block in the air by A2. And all the health looking really, really bad on the side of Club Penguin, but at the same time, positioning not looking the best on the side of Conductor. We have a problem. And A2 might go down here. Oh, doesn't get the arrow in time. Maybe just a little bit of beam could have saved them. But now 4-4. I like this push through choke. Open door, get through the open door. But as you say that, Emperor Penguin going to go down. Now it's going to flip the script once again. You got Ubers. JFK, gets pushed around the corner by Garum, so not going to be able to get the flash. And now it's going to be a positive trade with that demo pick on the side of Conductor. We have a problem. And now, yeah, this looks like a retake. I mean, I like the call for the most part on the side of Club Penguin. Just issue is with people kind of getting killed away from the main play, kind of turning a good play into kind of a bad play, and then, yeah, just a few small mistakes leading to this. Now we got some aggression in from Garm, and the whole combo just able to kind of flood through kind of the cafe door, pushing them back all the way into dry fight. A lot of damage getting traded back and forth. Sheep going down very low, playing very passively versus these lock and load pipes, being very cautious of it. Now getting in the pack, able to play a little more aggro, but at the same time, while it's all going on, players on side of Conductor, we have a problem, gonna go down, and another open door. You got people flooding in, but as I say, JFK gets launched in Skybox. Good surf to land on top of that fence and live, and it's chaos once again. But during all that action, Uber comes out a little bit faster for Conductor. We have a problem, but the other med able to get it just in time. It's going to be a pretty solid counter Uber. As once again, JFK finds another big lock and load, taking down Garm, and it's going to be another almost wipe on the side of Conductor. We have a problem. Only Chocolate alive right now, and not anywhere close to being able to do anything given the position. So I think Wisely should retreat back to last year.
Yeah, and Chocolate they were the side of Conductor we have a problem was trying to potentially get that mid after Sheep and Garm got caught there in the post Uber, but nothing to get there, and they overchased maybe a bit, lost everybody, but it does make sense to go for it, but that does then mean you're back on your own last, and now you do have a sentry going up, but there is a 30-40% Uber out on the side of Club Penguin. Let's see where they decide to take this. They're still discussing it clearly. Okay, it looks like they're going to go right. Yeah, it looks like they're going to come in right, using through that right door again. They use through. JFK gets a bit juggled, but he is going to live. The gun is again on the left side, so not really much there. And this time A2 ready to bomb to stop that. There's a bit of chaos going on here, but 3 kills in the favor of Club Penguin. There is finally an Uber onto the heavy, but it's not enough, and that is the 3rd round in favor of Club Penguin. Just able to get those kills.
Yeah, I mean, it was a little bit of a dicey situation, as we kind of saw the heavy coming in for the post-fight, Uber being gotten at the last second. So I still saw the same mistakes like Club Penguin. They just kind of narrowly squeezed by. Good execution by them, nonetheless. Hit their shots. What matters at the end of the day is a shooter game. But I think if they fixed those other 2 things, it could have been a much more dominant last push.
Yeah, we're into this next mid here. We have both teams kind of meeting up on the left side, but nobody really doing anything until those bombs come through. The frags are going to go in favor, I would say. It's actually pretty even right now. Sheep is still alive, but does eventually go down to Shine. And after all that chaotic bloodbath, it's just JFK and May left alive versus Garm. Garm is pretty healthy, but JFK does come in at the last minute and helps out May with the 2v1. And that's going to be a mid-win on the side of Club Penguin. An early med kill there from Gratitude, or Gratitude dying early, means they might have a bit of an Uber out, but it's only turned out into like a 10-15% Uber out. I don't think the building was amazing, so it's not going to be too big of an Uber disad for them, and I think Conductor are going to be able to they're going to try to hold this on second, but yeah, Club Penguin is already in. Almost everybody through choke in Valley. We'll see if they're the side of Conductor is going to be able to hold this. Freya got a kill onto... Wait, that was a trap kill onto the medic. Oh, no.
Huge pick, and at the same time, at the very least, Club Penguin looks like they'll be able to get the cap, so we'll be able to get some forward spawns, but you just got to be really careful as Penguin going for the last and going to get cleaned up and spotted by Chocolate, so not letting him get away with it that time.
Yeah, JFK did back up with respawning Gratitude. Asura's back up on this bell tower, but there's going to be a stack. It looks like they weren't able to deny any players, though. Everybody on Club Penguin gets their forward spawns, although Conductor has that Uber ad, so we're going to see them push in here. They're coming in through Valley quickly, though. Wow. They are very far back on the side of, Club Penguin, and because of that, Conductor just decides we're going to milk through. We don't even have to use, because you guys are just not here at all. And they get the point for free, and they're still going to have about a 50% Uber ad. JK going down very low. He's back in lobby with Gratitude, and now this the combo is going to be of, Conductor is pushing in through Cafe here. They still have about a 30% Uber ad. They're trying to chase Shine. Who is going to leave there? There is that nasty little trap on the ledge. I wonder if Conductor is going to get picked off by that. Sheep did catch a lot of damage, so just going to have to back up and wait a bit. Waiting for that pack, finally does get it, but it's now evened out, and we're going to see that attempted last stack onto last to break the stalemate.
Yeah, we haven't really seen this kind of like standard last sack situation. The game's been moving quite quickly so far. So we'll see what conductor we have a problem has up their sleeve in terms of plays to go for here. And oh, it looks like the Uber just is going to come out. It's going for this really weird trade in lobby. Okay, I mean I can. Well, I was going to say it makes sense to train a sniper, but actually they're the one that's a sniper. So I really don't understand why they use in the lobby there. They do get the force off from the other side, but kind of very risky thing to go for there.
Yeah, it's not too bad for either team though. Although as I say that, it looks like Shine is trying to get in, tries to create some space to help his team. He's going to do a bit of damage, actually gets a kill onto A2, but Amity is going to trade out that pick. Chocolate still being alive and up close here means that I don't, yeah, and especially with the gun on the side of, or in the form of May, the NG. Yeah, excuse me, Club Penguin is not going to want to push out off of this, and they're just going to chill in their own last, but we do have Garm up on the sniper. And he does take the shot, he is revealed on sniper, no damage coming out of that, and there is already the counter sniper from Johnny. We'll see how this sniper v sniper works out. And Chocolate goes in for a quick sack, is going to go down. Amity is now, or excuse me, that's Johnny working out with Asura, clearing those traps on the shutter, trying to get that peek off. And Garm is actually just going to get headshot by Johnny, who rotated over to the lower doorway, I believe. Yeah, and that's another kill in favor of, excuse me, Club Penguin. But the spawner did come back for Conductor, and they're able to get Shine doing a counter sack. Freya gets Asura, and now, oh no, Johnny's really low. He's going to get picked in lower too. That's 3 down. This is going to be really tough for Club Penguin to hold.
Yeah, I mean, only a couple people up. Do have the sentry gun though, and they got the teleporter and the dispenser, but the sentry gun falls. Chocolate. Nothing. I would like to see more pressure. The trade does come out. They gotta be a little bit careful. Point's a little bit open. Only have one soldier on it to block, and the counter pop comes out. It's slightly better, but not gonna be enough to really get in. So, pretty effective hold on the side of Club Penguin there.
Yeah, and down 2 soldiers means it's going to be tough for Conductor to try to stay and fight this. They just don't have enough damage, and slowly but surely, Club Penguin is taking that space. Asura with an aggressive bomb, trying to catch out Freya, is going to get picked off by Garm, but created enough space, and Shine actually gets Garm and Freya, and we have Shine continuing to go aggressive, excuse me, yeah, Chocolate is trying to finally get that kill. Shine gets 2 more, and somehow Chocolate didn't even get a kill, and that was also A2 going on to spy, but she gets nothing, and now it's just Sheep who spawns, gets killed by JFK on quickies. They're still camping the forwards here for the side of, excuse me, the side of Club Penguin is Garm is going to get picked by JFK and Johnny. That's going to be tough for them, for Conductor to deal with, as they're now on their own last, full Uber Decide, and they still don't even have all their players up.
We'll see how they take this. Like we said, we talked about using on the side the sentry gun. Sentry gun is on the left side this time. Are going to go, looks like through the left. So they might meet the string. Actually, no, looks to the right, no, the left. Hard to say where they're going. Buying, I mean, have plenty of time to work with. Yeah, they do see the sentry this time. And yeah, I expect this last push to go much better. He's able to get that sentry gun so fast. We see the point pressure. And because they're able to get that, able to get the reflex on the scout, got a lot of point time now. Got 2 picks off that. It looks really good. And that's going to be 4-0 in favor of Club Penguin after, you know, a close second map. Now looking really dominant on the side of Club Penguin, looking to win their first playoff match of the season.
Yeah, this would definitely be a big win for them. So it's maybe going a little insane here. Our producer's a little bit distracted, but anyways, we'll get back to this final mid, maybe not. I mean, that assumes that Club Penguin is going to continue to win this and win 5-0, but anyways, there's a bit of nobody really posturing or going at all, and then there's just a huge collapse here, but the kills are definitely favoring the side of Club Penguin, and that's just the med dead and the demo dead, or 3 down on the side of Conductor being a problem. Now Club Penguin just plays around their combo, and that's going to really help them secure that mid win, and Chocolate is going to have to lick his wounds and get out. He's hiding in lower in a very interesting spot. I think he's trying to go for the medic. He is trying to go for the medic. He beeves the rockets, though, and JFK does get the cleanup onto JFK, even without a scout, because Johnny was back there capping. But, yeah, that's going to be a big Uber ad pushing into last year.
Yeah, and so far it just looks like how dominant the red team has been on the mid so far is really just kind of set the tone for the match, especially those first two picks by JK. Garm almost going down, eats a pipe, gonna get away there. But yeah, the mids have been absolutely huge. And now on the side of or the red team, looks like they have a chance to put this game, or Club Penguin looks like they have a chance to put this game away. 50%, and once again, Sentry Gun on the left side, but we're able to make it work one time. Do get the point pressure. Yeah, and Scout goes down just like the first push, but will they have the med back cap this time? Do get the frags, it's 4-4. The heavy here, jumping into action, but actually gets focused down so fast. Really great focus fire. Gotta be careful not to C9 here. Got a little bit of ulti. Oh, and the med caps again! Just like the first time. So yeah, I mean, gratitude with two big caps, the clutch back cap, and then the clutch kind of ulti-do med cap to end the game 5-0 after a hard-fought series, dominant final map on the side of Club Penguin. And after executing the updated names config, I'm really surprised to see these players' names. So yeah, I kind of like it better when they're just Penguins. Anyway, yeah, so I mean, not a whole lot to say about that. Let's take a look at the log real quick. But I mean, I'd say, you know, like I said, I mean, the one push they did, you know, those two things I said, super clean last push. The ones they didn't, I mean, they still, still got away with it, but needed a gratitude to pull out a couple clutch moves to secure it. Let's take a look at the log though.
Yeah, I am taking a look. It does look like JFK was absolutely nuking on this map, but other than that, like, nothing else seems like too crazy. Yeah, it just looks like JFK was just everywhere, taking a lot of heals, but doing even more damage.
Yeah, I mean, not only just that, but just like the picks on mid, on the first two mids, just immediately killing killing a scout, and then on the next one, immediately killing the demo. Absolutely huge. And also, I got to also point out there's kind of a sub conversation in chat earlier about Evangelion. I got to say, if you're something for 14-year-olds, then we need to make an RGL rule about that. If you're not a Masato fan, then you're truly lost. So anyway. That's what I have to say about that matter. Any only final thought I want to ask you, M17. What do you think, or do you want to change your stance on Taiwan?
How about we just focus on the fact that, yeah, so I don't know if this was like expected, but Johnny and JFK did swap roles from Scout and Demo, which is something I did not expect. Because I was really expecting to see JFK on Scout, but I guess his Demo has gotten very strong because he's definitely pulled it out for this map when there is the combined logs that I'm taking a peek at, and she did have 9 more med deaths across those 3 maps, but yeah, it was still just an 80-minute series, so it wasn't like crazy long across 3 maps, but yeah, besides that, I don't really see anything crazy, and I don't really have anything else to say, no.
Yeah, and kind of last thing, kind of like I said about the mid fights, we're looking at the back and forth. It's pretty split throughout the first 2 maps, and then the last at the end of Sunshine, just Club Penguin completely ran away with it. Only one mid fight win on the side of the blue team, which is Conductor. We have a problem. So yeah, that'll be wrapping up our kind of a quick double cast of the 6 Mao Zedongs versus the 6 whites, and then followed up by our Conductor. We have a problem, and another the Penguin team. So yeah, lots more playoffs in store in the future, but I think that'll about wrap it up for tonight. Shout out to everybody. We are all one.
Yeah, and of course,
Goodbye.
shout out to Scion Production, besides how crazy he is. But yeah, thanks for watching, everybody, as well. Shout out to the players and the viewers. See you all later. There's going to be more playoffs. So yeah, see you then.